The 1980s were full of bold ideas, and turbocharged cars were some of the most exciting of them all. This was a time when speed, style, and new technology came together to create a whole new driving experience. Turbo engines didn't just make cars faster, they made them unforgettable. But over the years, many of these amazing cars have been forgotten. In this video, we're counting down the 10 most outrageous turbocharged cars of the 80s. Let's start the countdown and rediscover these hidden legends. A standout in 1980s performance, the Conquest TSI was Chrysler's rebadged, turbocharged coupe built in Japan and sold from 1984 to 89. Based on the Mitsubishi Starion wide-body ESIR, this rear-wheel drive gem featured a 2.6-liter SOHC inline-4, code G54B, paired with a Garrett DT05 turbo and dry intercooler, producing 176 to 188 horsepower and around 223 to 234 pound-foot of torque. Under the hood, the G54B engine was noted for its under-square design, 91.1 by 98 millimeters, dual silent shaft balance system, and low-end torque, hitting peak at just 2,500 RPM. Matched to a 5-speed manual or 4-speed automatic, the manual version sprinted from 0 to 60 in approximately 6.9 seconds. Chapters of sources say 7.0 to 8.0 seconds, depending on the trim, and topped out near 130 to 140 miles per hour. Sporting wide fender flares, 16-inch staggered wheels, independent suspension, limited slip differential, and pop-up headlights, the Conquest TSI looked as aggressive as it performed. Production peaked in 1986 at about 19,438 units, but dwindled to under 2,000 by 1989, as Mitsubishi focused on newer models like the GTO Stealth. Today, this unsung hero draws attention from collectors, with pristine examples selling for over $23,000, making it a rare blast from the turbocharged past that blends distinctive 80s flair with precise engineering. Carroll Shelby's magic touched even compact hatches, and the 1986 Omni GLHS is a thrilling testament to that. Shelby took the final 500 black GLHT models, each based on the front-wheel drive Dodge Omni, and transformed them into hardcore hot hatches. Beneath the hood roared a 2.2-liter turbo I inline-4, upgraded with an intercooler. Larger Garrett turbo, Shelby tuned intake and exhaust manifolds, Bosch injectors, and a revised ECU, resulting in a flat 175 horsepower and 175 pound-foot of torque from 2,200 to 4,800 RPM. Bolted to a 5-speed manual, this lightweight hatch sprinted from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 6.5 seconds, blasted through the quarter mile in around 14.8 seconds, and topped out at approximately 130-135 miles per hour. Shelby didn't stop at power. Suspension gained adjustable Coney dampers, stiffer springs, a quicker steering rack, and wider 205/50 R15 Shelby Centurion wheels wrapped in Goodyear Eagle Gatorback tires, delivering sharp handling and nearly 0.88 G cornering grip. Visually, the GLHS wore all-black trim, silver pinstriping, Shelby badging, fog lamps, front air dam, side skirts, and unique wheels, all making it look tough yet purposeful. Though overshadowed by V8 muscle, the GLHS proved a turbocharged 4-cylinder could outshine many in its era. In late 1988, Pontiac teamed up with ASC McLaren to transform the Grand Prix into something truly unexpected, a turbocharged front-wheel drive powerhouse. Limited to just about 3,500 units across 1989-1990, the Grand Prix McLaren Turbo stood out as one of GM's boldest experiments. Its heart was a reworked 3.1-liter LG5 V6, specially forged with nickel-rich iron, reinforced crank, high-flow oil pump, and water-cooled Garrett T25 Turbo Plus intercooler. The result? A stout 205 horsepower at 4,800 RPM and 220 pound-foot of torque at 3,200 RPM, transforming a 3,500-pound coupe into a surprise performer. Paired with a strengthened 4-speed automatic transmission and sudden responsive suspension, the Turbo GP could hit 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds, cruise to 128 miles per hour, and run a quarter mile in the low 15-second range. Inside, it debuts Pontiac's first heads-up display, 10-way power leather seats, and a cluster of digital gear, including a compass, trip computer, and plush features like ABS brakes and premium audio. Though its bold styling, flared arches, hood louvers, and gold 16-inch alloy wheels was divisive, the Grand Prix McLaren Turbo remains an underrated icon of late 80s American engineering. Picture this. It's 1989. Legendary racer Carroll Shelby teams up with Dodge to transform the humble Shadow into a groundbreaking compact sports car. It's the Shelby csx-vnt. This wasn't just another badge job. It introduced the world's first production variable nozzle turbo VNT, a game-changing breakthrough that virtually eliminated turbo lag. Beneath its exotic red exterior with gold fiber ride composite wheels, lighter than aluminum and striking in looks, sat a 2.2-liter turbo 4 engine, tuned to deliver 175 horsepower at 5,300 RPM, and a hefty 205 pound-foot of torque from just 2,100 RPM. Mated to a crisp Getrag 5-speed manual, it sprinted from 0 to 60 in roughly 7.0 seconds and covered the quarter mile in about 15.3 seconds, topping out near 132 miles per hour. Inside, Shelby treated buyers to firm suspension tuned by his team, optional Recaro seats, and a boost gauge in the center console. Only 500 units were ever built, making each one a rare piece of automotive history. Today, the csx-vnt is a pioneer of variable geometry turbocharging and a cherished icon among collectors. Well-preserved examples command strong prices, typically $12,000 to $18,000. A just reward for its innovative spirit and Shelby's final Dodge masterpiece. Imagine a stylish French coupe hitting US roads in 1983 with both flair and innovation. The Renault Fuego Turbo was exactly that. Built on the Renault 18 platform and designed by Michel Jardin and Robert Opron, the sporty four-seater brought turbocharged excitement to everyday living. Under the sleek hood sat a 1.6-liter SOHC turbocharged inline-4, making about 132 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 147 pound-foot of torque at 3,000 RPM. Performance was respectable for its era, with a 0 to 60 time of around 9 seconds and a top speed near 120 miles per hour. The Fuego Turbo's front-wheel drive setup incorporated McPherson struts with an anti-roll bar up front and a solid axle rear suspension, well balanced for smooth handling and comfort. Luxuries were ahead of their time. A PLIP remote keyless entry, steering wheel audio controls, alloy wheels, air conditioning, and a fabric Webasto sunroof, features that made the Fuego feel premium for its $11,000 US price tag. However, reliability issues, electrical gremlins and cooling woes, along with scarce parts and rear drum brakes, held it back in the American market. The 1986-87 Mazda 626 Turbo was a practical car that quietly packed real performance. Now, at first glance, it looked like a regular family sedan or hatchback, but under the hood was a 2.0-liter turbocharged engine making 135 horsepower and 175 pound-foot of torque. That gave it 0 to 60 mile per hour times of around 8.5 seconds, quick for its class in the 80s. It came with a 5-speed manual transmission, and some models even had 4-wheel steering, a rare and advanced feature that helped with sharp turns. The car was smooth to drive, handled well, and had a solid reputation for reliability. Unlike flashier sports cars, the 626 Turbo had a clean and simple look. It was perfect for drivers who wanted speed without standing out. Inside, it was roomy and comfortable, making it a smart choice for both daily driving and fun weekend trips. The Saab 900 Turbo wasn't just a car, it was a statement. While other manufacturers chased speed with flashy designs, Saab took a different path, blending aerospace-inspired engineering with turbocharged performance in a truly practical package. Launched in '78 and refined through the 1980s, the 900 Turbo featured a 2.0-liter or 2.1-liter turbocharged inline-4 that delivered up to 160 horsepower by the late decade. Paired with a slick, shifting manual gearbox, it could reach 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds, quick for a front-wheel drive luxury hatchback of its time. What set Saab apart wasn't just the power. Its solid chassis, panoramic visibility, and fighter jet-style cockpit created a driving experience that felt intelligent and confident. Though early models had some turbo lag, the boost came on smoothly, delivering a satisfying surge without compromising comfort. The hatchback body made it incredibly versatile, one of the few performance cars that could haul luggage, groceries, and still corner with poise. The 900 Turbo became a cult favorite among designers, professors, and those who refused to follow the crowd. Today, this Swedish icon is a collector's favorite, with clean examples fetching $8,000 to $20,000, and rightly so. It's one of the most distinctive turbo cars of the 1980s. In the turbocharged wars of the 80s, the Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe carved out its own identity, bridging muscle car looks with cutting-edge tech in a sleek Grand Touring package. Built from 1983 to 1988, the Turbo Coupe packed Ford's 2.3-liter turbocharged inline-4, the same engine used in the Mustang SVO. Output ranged from 155 horsepower in early models to 190 HP in 1987-1988 versions, which added an intercooler, computer-controlled boost, and better engine management. These upgrades pushed it from 0 to 60 in just 7.5 seconds, a solid number for a rear-wheel drive coupe of its time. What made it stand out wasn't just straight-line speed. It featured 4-wheel disc brakes, independent suspension, and available 5-speed manual transmission, giving it real driving credibility. At the same time, luxury touches like power seats, digital displays, and adjustable suspension damping made it a surprisingly refined cruiser. The aggressive hood scoops, wide stance, and bold Turbo Coupe badging gave it unmistakable presence. More polished than a Mustang, but still quick. It appealed to performance fans who valued comfort too. The Ford Thunderbird Turbo Coupe remains an underrated classic, with clean examples often fetching $3,000 to $10,000. When talking about high-performance turbo cars from the 80s, few are as bold and impressive as the Corvette B2K Callaway Twin Turbo. Sold between 1987 and 91 as a factory option, RPO B2K, this special Corvette was built in collaboration with Callaway Cars and offered supercar-level performance. Callaway added twin turbochargers to the standard 5.7-liter V8 engine, boosting power to 345 horsepower and 465 pound-foot of torque. Some later versions had even more power, with a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of just 4.9 seconds and a top speed of over 190 miles per hour. It was one of the fastest cars you could buy in the late 80s. Only 510 units were produced. Each one came with custom bodywork, upgraded suspension, and unique Callaway badges. These cars were sold through Chevrolet dealerships and included a full factory warranty, something very rare for a modified performance car. Well-preserved B2K Callaway Corvettes can now sell for $40,000 to over $100,000 depending on condition. At the top of the list is a car few have heard of, even among Grand National fans. The 1985 Buick LeSabre Grand National. Unlike its more famous sibling, the Regal Grand National, this rare version was never about raw speed. But it has become a true collector's curiosity. Only 117 units of the LeSabre Grand National were ever built, making it one of the rarest production Buicks of all time. It was based on the full-size H-body LeSabre and powered by a naturally aspirated 5.0-liter V8. It didn't have a turbo, but what made it special was the aggressive all-black exterior, Grand National badging, unique wheels and a sportier interior, bringing performance styling to a family sedan. While it didn't match the performance of its turbocharged cousin, the LeSabre GN represented Buick's bold move to apply muscle car aesthetics to a more traditional platform. That daring blend of style and size is exactly why collectors have taken interest. Surviving examples are incredibly hard to find today. A well-kept LeSabre GN can fetch anywhere from $20,000 to over $35,000, depending on condition. It stands as a quirky and rare footnote in Buick's performance history, and that's what makes it so fascinating. Which of these turbocharged legends from the 80s would you love to park in your garage? From rare sleepers to high-speed icons, these machines defined a turbocharged era. If you enjoyed this blast from the past, be sure to subscribe to Classic Car Archive for more retro rides and forgotten gems. Got a favorite 80s turbo car we didn't mention? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your pick from this unforgettable decade of boost.